Hello, dear friends. Patrick here again. Monday, September the 8th. I want to do a little blurb on two of the largest Christian organizations that represent Christians in Canada. The first one is the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada. They publish Faith Today, their website faithtoday.ca. They have a Twitter account with 3,179 followers as of today. And they didn't mention a word about the Jesus parade that occurred in downtown Toronto on Saturday, this past Saturday. They didn't say a boo about that. They say on their Twitter account that any tweet that supports or opposes a political party or candidate will be removed. And yet they themselves made a post about thanking your local candidate. There you go. Figure that out. The most important news item that they talked about in the last week, that's the week of August 26th, was announced by Karen Fishwick, their representative, and they talked about mission work in Newfoundland and Labrador, French translations on their website, and then an article by Jim Cogan. And this gentleman, Jim Cogan, does an article about the history of the social gospel. And he mentions how the social gospel are optimists and how fundamentalists are pessimists. You can see the slanting of his emphasis, even though it is a relatively unbiased historical information. It's not hard to see that there is a bias there when he's referring to the social gospel as being optimists and the forerunner of the NDP, the Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, the book by Walter Rauschenbusch, and he talks about the founding of the United Church in 1925, and he says that this time in history, this time about 1925 when they had the Scopes trial, evolution was being debated whether it should be taught in schools or not, and also is the date of the founding of the United Church. It was supposed to amalgamate denominations, but it just added another denomination, was the net effect. And this organization, the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada, doesn't promote anything to do about a Jesus march or a Jesus parade or lifting up Jesus. They are derelict in their duty in communicating news to Canadians, but they want to promote the social gospel. So I just wanted to make this quick blurb about that organization. They're supposed to be representing Christians in Canada. There are approximately 20 million Christians in Canada. Approximately half of the Canadian population, about 50%, identify as Christians. And they have on their Twitter page 3,000 followers. I don't know what the subscription numbers are for Faith Today, but it'd be interesting to know how many people subscribe to that publication. I've never seen a copy of it recently. But we should be aware that this organization is not communicating Christian news to Canadians. I asked a local pastor the other day, have you heard about the Jesus March happening in downtown Toronto? Imagine if it was a parade celebrating veterans' history, the Santa Claus parade, maybe a Super Bowl parade. What do we have here? A Grey Cup parade. You'd hear about it. Now, the Canadian news in Canada is anti-Christian organizations, CTV, CBC, all those organizations are anti-Christian organizations. They don't want you to hear about any Christian news, right? But this is supposedly a Christian organization and should be communicating Christian news to Christians in Canada, and they're not. They're derelict in their duty. And so how are Christians going to find out that there's a parade in the largest city in the country, maybe second largest, Vancouver? I don't know which one's bigger. I think Toronto is the largest populated city in Canada. And there was a Jesus parade on Saturday. The only reason why I knew about it is because a person that I know was live streaming it on their YouTube channel. That's how I saw it. Otherwise, I never would have heard about it. Zero. Same as last year, I didn't hear about it until I saw it on a live stream. It would have been nice to have gone down there as support, maybe a festival atmosphere, maybe outdoor praise and worship concert atmosphere, maybe outdoor prayer atmosphere. That'd be kind of nice to participate as a Christian believer from whatever denomination you may happen to be in. But the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada, faithtoday.ca, are not communicating that. They'd rather direct your attention to an article about the history of the social gospel and to call fundamentalists pessimists. Go figure. Thanks a lot for watching. God bless you. We'll talk to you again real soon.